27 past the hour. Hillary Clinton is headed back to California, likely a response to a primary contest that is suddenly tightening. The latest NBC News Wall Street Journal Marist poll there shows Hillary Clinton up just 2 points among
that's
Democrats.
A surprise.
Yeah. Wasn't it a much wider swing just days ago?
Yeah, Mika, a couple days ago there was a poll out, I think, from Stanford that had Hillary up 13 points. So when I saw that, I thought it was over. When I saw that NBC poll out there yesterday, suddenly that changes everything. This California race is so critical. If Bernie Sanders were to pull off a shocking upset out there, she would have to consider him as vice president. She would have to give him so much more than I know they'd want. If she wins by double digits, then she can do what she wants. But this race has such an impact on the convention.
There's a reason he's not leaving.
What's scary for her is that in any of these primary races where he has spent a lot of time, he outperforms the polls, and he certainly spent a lot of time there.
And we'll show you in just a moment. He is goading them, by the way. So if you expand the question to potential Democratic primary voters, Bernie Sanders leads by 1 point. And Clinton's early return to the West Coast was not lost on the senator from Vermont.
I just suddenly saw Hillary Clinton racing to California, Bill Clinton racing to California. Maybe they think this campaign is not quite over. And I believe we've got a real shot to come out of that convention with the Democratic nomination. And if we do come out with the nomination, Donald Trump is toast.
Okay. Still, in an interview with the Associated Press, Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid said that Bernie Sanders needs to recognize, quote, sometimes you just have to give up, adding, I've never been too good at math. But I can figure that one out. I think he better do a little mathing.
What an uplifting message. Willie... it's a message that our parents, when they would hold us on their knee and we'd say we wanted to quit, and instead of telling us to fight on, they said, Senator Harry Reid, what he always says, and I'm like, what's that, Mom? Sometimes you just have to give up, Joey.
Your mom had that stitched on a little throw pillow. I remember that. Right there on her rocking chair. That's what the Hillary supporters have been saying to him for weeks now. It's time to step to the side. And that only emboldens him. That only emboldens Bernie Sanders supporters. It only makes him want to go further and further. Mathematically, though, on that point, Harry Reid is right. It's going to be tough. That's a proportional contest in California. If it's a close race and they split the votes, Hillary Clinton clears the threshold, becomes the nominee. The argument by the Sanders campaign, though, is that includes superdelegates. And superdelegates should not yet count, and he wants to go to the convention and convince those superdelegates that they should come to his side. The other part of his argument is what you heard from him right there, which is that I'm the one who beats Donald Trump head-to-head. Look at poll after poll after poll. I'm the one, if you put me in, who will beat Donald Trump.
And, Joe, next Wednesday is going to be a really interesting day for the Democratic Party, because next Wednesday, whether Hillary Clinton wins or loses narrowly in California, she will be way over the top in terms of delegates needed to get that nomination. And you're going to have a series of major Democratic officials in this country, both elected and appointed, saying, Bernie, time for you to go home. And that might include Elizabeth Warren, incidentally, next Wednesday. And when that happens, you're going to find out who Bernie Sanders really is. Is he a guy who recognizes who he is, and he's led a great movement for 50 years, and it's culminated this spring? Or is he the guy that they know in the United States Senate, the guy who won United States Senator, Democratic United States Senator, told me a couple of days ago, has never known how to be a partner?
You know he's not going away.
The thing is, though, what we have, though, here, if I'm Bernie Sanders and I win California, I said, wait a second, you can't have the superdelegates because the superdelegates don't vote until they get to the convention. We are building a movement here. The movement grows by the day. We get more people out every day than Hillary ever will. We get more donors sending their money to us than Hillary does every day. She has to fly off to New York and Connecticut for fundraisers with rich people. People just send us money. We're in the middle of a movement. Why don't we not short-circuit this process and and let the process play out the way the rules say the process is supposed to play out. Let the superdelegates make their mind up at the convention when they actually vote. Stop trying to short-circuit this process like you tried to short-circuit the debate process.
Yes, from the get-go.
Let's just let it play out. Mika, I'm reminded of Iowa. The results were still coming in Iowa. It looked like it was too close to call. The Democratic Party in Iowa rigged. Hillary supporters, they actually called the election before they should have called the election. They should have waited a day or two. It was rigged.
The same thing happened
when you came. Same thing happened when you came to the debate process. The debate process clearly rigged. And here we have, once again, everybody talking about let's rig the process, forget the fact that the rules say the superdelegates vote at the conventions. We don't know what's going to happen between now and the conventions. We don't know what the FBI is going to say. We don't know what other IGs are going to say. Let the superdelegates vote when the superdelegates are supposed to vote by the rules, and stop short-circuiting the process. That is what Bernie Sanders should say.
And I have to tell you that, you were at the Hillary Clinton event yesterday. How many people were there, Kathy?
It wasn't very big. I would say 400 or 500 people.
400 or 500 people.
It was an athletic stadium.
These
and it was
Bernie Sanders supporters turn out wherever he goes by the thousands, sometimes tens of thousands. You're really going to just sort of say, you know what, you guys don't matter. Your voice doesn't matter. What you've been doing doesn't matter. What the guy you've been following doesn't matter. You know what? From the beginning, they thought they could get rid of him. They thought the coronation could happen. It didn't. Look at this. Look at these people. Stop ignoring them. Stop making the Trump mistake that the Republicans made. Stop ignoring Bernie Sanders.
It would be really, we know that the superdelegates back in 2008 switched from Clinton to Obama, but they have given no indication this time around that they are thinking of switching to Bernie. I'm not hearing superdelegates start to say, actually, you know what, we're holding our vote, we will decide at the convention.
Bernie Sanders and take him seriously. Did we want to hear from Obama? Really quickly, here's the president on the state of the race.
Well, I think that there's been a healthy debate in the Democratic Party, and it's almost over. What I've tried to do is to make sure that voters, rather than me bigfooting the situation or deciding the outcome, I think we'll probably have a pretty good sense next week of who the nominee will end up being.
And Mika, that's exactly what Democratic leaders should do. What their president is doing right now, saying, I'm not going to bigfoot the voters. Let's let the process play out. Let's take it to the convention. Let the superdelegates vote.
He did say it was over next week, though. He did say it's over. It's not over next week. But I'm talking about the bigfooting the voters. Let the process play out the way the rules say the process plays out. And when the superdelegates vote, then it's over. By the way, Bernie Sanders also picked up the backing of Venezuela's embattled socialist president, Nicolas Maduro.
Great.
Who said he's rooting for his, quote, revolutionary friend. All right, the woman in charge of carrying